Yeah, I thought Scott Frost was coaching the Under Armour All-American game.
You got to know it's the U.S. Army Bowl.
I have to know, apparently.
And that it was already played last Saturday.
U.S. Army, Under Armour All-American.
Pretty sure he lost.
Yeah, he lost by 1 score.
Yeah. Did he really?
Yes.
That's awesome. I think it was on like Bally Sports.
Oh, then I definitely wasn't watching that.
On like Monday or Tuesday night. Actually, it was Monday because I took the day I had off. I was like, you know what? I want to see what Scott Frost looked like on the sidelines of the U.S. Army Bowl. And so I went on YouTube to try to find it, and it was nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. So like I found highlights, and I was watching highlights of the U.S. Army Bowl.
How'd it look?
Trying to find it was fine. Trying to see Scott Frost on the sidelines. But I couldn't see him. So I guess I haven't looked in a couple days on YouTube, but like it's really tough because it's the U.S. Army Bowl, but when you search that, you get the mixture of U.S. Army Navy game, and then you also get the mixture of the U.S. All-American game, and you have the Under Armour All-American game, and there's just way too many.
That one's the only one that's important, right?
The U.S. Army All-American game.
Under Armour.
No, Under Armour one's not even as important.
No, the U.S. Army
All-American game is the most important.
And that was not the one
that is not the U.S. Army Bowl was the one that Scott Frost coached in.
There's, as I said before, when I got this wrong, there are too many high school All-American games.
There's too many high school All-American games. I'm all about.
Just like there's too many Senior Bowls.
Yeah, just keep it the Reese's Senior Bowl.
There's like 3 Senior Bowls.
Yeah, it just needs
too many.
It just needs to be the Reese's Senior Bowl, and we call it good.
Because then it's like, oh, so and so got an invite to the Senior Bowl, and I'm like, oh, is that the good one, or is that just the hey, we have another one for you to play in bowl game?
So it'd be like U.S. Army Bowl 2022, and see, so here it is once again. I mean, we roll it up, or we search it. First thing we see is Kansas State commit at the U.S. Army Bowl. Then it's All-American Bowl, which is the difference. It's the All-American Bowl is the most important one. That's the one that Spencer Rattler was in. That's the one that Graham Mertz was in at the time because he was that high-profile recruit. Same with Cade Klubnik and the Clemson quarterback who's now taking over for Uiagalelei. Wandale was in it. Noah Pula-Gates was in it. Malachi Coleman's going to be in it. That's the most important one. All the other ones now, granted, all the other ones are great. I mean, it's good to put these high school guys. Maurice Washington was in the Under Armour All-American one.
Okay, so I found this. The All-American, this one says All-American Bowl rosters, but this is actually good because you have Tausili Akana, who is the 5-star going to Texas. Malachi Coleman's going to this one.
Yeah, that's the big one. That's on NBC on a Saturday.
Okay, I found this one. Not coached by Scott Frost.
Yes, that's the one that's, I think it's January 6th.
January
3rd,
I just
maybe
have the roster.
Whatever day the Sunday falls on here, I could tell you it's the
here, let's go home.
It's going to be January 7th, I believe it should be, is when the Under Armour All-American just the All-American Bowl. The Under Armour All-American game is the one that's like on a weeknight on ESPN2, and Maurice Washington played in it while he was still uncommitted.
Okay, All-American Bowl, January 7th, 2023. The Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas. You can get tickets if you want.
Yeah.
Do you want tickets? I want to see how expensive they are.
They go all out. Because I remember watching that like QB1 series on Netflix, and it was
upper level seating, $11.50. Like $11.50.
Yeah.
What about Plaza General Admission? $11.50.
Dang. So because I remember watching that QB1 series on Netflix. It's the one that followed like Tate Martell places, and Spencer Rattler was on like one of the final seasons. And I remember because Spencer Rattler went to that All-American game or whatever it was, or All-American Bowl, sorry. And they like fly him down there that entire week, and they give him all this gear, and they give him like they go through a week of practice.
Those jerseys are cool.
They are, and
you
get to keep them.
Yeah, they're very simple,
which is sweet.
And I think that's the cool part because the Under Armour one last year was like the neon, pink and green, and it was like what? Just keep it
the white and black jerseys with the gold lettering.
The yellow, I think it's yellow and black. So one's yellow, one's black.
Oh, I thought it was always white. My bad.
I could be wrong. I've been wrong about a lot of things today.
Shocker. What's new? Just another day. Just another day under Rico.
Don't be an ass. Don't be an ass about it. Right?
You can't say that on air.
Yeah, I can.
That is just not right to call your co-host an ass.
I can say it.
It's just not right.
Okay, these ones are white. They look like soccer jerseys, though. They do not look like they will stretch over football pads.
Well, that's the point of it. That's the point. Make them skin tight so that way people can't grab onto your jersey.
No, but that's what I'm saying is it doesn't look like those ones. These ones just look like the soccer kits. Like it's just a T-shirt.
Wet Blanket asks, where did Noah Pulla-Gates end up? Nebraska, that's for sure. He's here.
Yeah, he hasn't. He's not transferring.
I don't think so. He hasn't announced it.
No, I didn't see him enter the transfer portal.
Yeah.
Are you asking what bowl game he played in?
No, excuse me. Army All-American game.
Because he put that hit on Wandale.
Yeah, everybody freaked out.
Everybody's like, whoa, that could be your, because we didn't know where Wandale was going yet. That could be your future teammate.
I'm just saying.
I think he announced it there, didn't he? Wandale,
no. Because remember that Wandale situation was kind of crazy because he had like a,
or maybe he was like maybe Noah was the one because he was going to announce at the Polynesian Bowl.
Noah played at both the Army All-American and the Polynesian.
Yeah.
And he announced the Polynesian.
Yeah. So we didn't know that. Maybe it was him that we didn't know if he was going to be at Nebraska. He was a silent commit for a long time.
Yeah.
Well, I
would say silent signee.
Don't be rude, Wet Blanket.
Yeah. Wet Blanket. Come on, man. But here's the deal. I think what's interesting is that Wandale recruitment was kind of interesting to follow because it was heavy Nebraska. And then like at the last moment, Vince Morrow like swooped in, ended up like changing his mind, and everybody freaked out because they were like, "Oh, he's tampering." Like Kentucky's paying him the bag.
That was before NIL.
Kentucky's paying him the bag. He ended up staying home. Like he had the recruitment video or whatever. And then it was like a couple weeks later, it was like, all right.
I was like, okay, I'm going back to Nebraska.
I'm going back to Nebraska because
that's where he ended up at Kentucky anyways.
Yeah. And now he's at the Giants, hurt by an ACL.
Recovering from an ACL tear.
He
caught a touchdown.
I did see that.
He did score a touchdown in the NFL this year.
Yeah. I think later in the day, I almost said show, later in the day, I think we need to do pretenders and contenders
in the NFL.
Ooh, yeah.
Do you want to do that? We can do that on this one.
I don't know. I mean, like we got time. We got plethora of time here today, so
it's not like we're not going to be on the air.
Yeah. So I mean, your guys' afternoon is going to be filled with Rico and myself
once again.
Yeah,
I know you guys love it.
Yeah, don't complain.
Don't even pretend.
We're gonna keep Qdoba Guy warm with our voice.
Yeah.
So
maybe we can dry off Wet Blanket.
Make him just a blanket,
just a regular old blanket.
Wet Blanket. What will it take?
Are you a frozen blanket?
What will it take, Wet Blanket, to have you become just a blanket?
Yeah. What needs to happen with Nebraska or us?
Will you ever not be a wet blanket?
Will you ever be?
Because now, like, you've created this, this legacy, I suppose.
Do you have to stay negative?
Even when Nebraska's playing well?
Nebraska 12-0. Well, they should have. See, I don't think you can do that. Yep. But, I mean, maybe Wet Blanket can answer us. We'll talk about that more and some more recruiting news on the other side of the break. You're listening to Taking Water Cooler.